Hello, welcome to Thursday Q&A Live with me, Phil Morse, in digital DJ tips land, but we're not in the studio. Those of you that are regulars will know why, because we're spending the whole of July and August touring around, staying out of the stuffy studio and spending some time in the great outdoors. And if I move out of the way of the camera and let it focus on behind us, you can see we're in a beautiful, sunny, warm part of the world. We're actually in inland Portugal at the moment and having a lot of fun there as well. But it doesn't mean I haven't got time to come live on the Digital DJ Tips channels and chat DJing with you guys and girls for at least an hour once a week, which is exactly what this hour is all about. It's our Thursday Q&A live slot, which means answering all your questions. It means helping you with whatever you are stuck with in your DJing. So please do ask away. Please do let me know what you're stuck with. It could be music, could be techniques, could be gear, could be playing out, could be promoting yourself. Whatever it is that you are currently struggling with, whether you're umming and ahhing over buying a piece of gear, whether you are stuck trying to get a piece of gear to work or whatever, whatever it is, you just let me know and we'll do our best to sort you out. Now, I had a nice camera angle here. I have moved it for various reasons, but now I can see that the camera's really not coping. So I'm going to turn it around and hope we get slightly better colour there. That looks a little bit better, maybe I can do it a little bit more. There we go. That looks a bit better. I haven't got the bright sunlight behind us there now, so that should be better. Right, so that's what it's all about anyway, folks. So what have I been up to? Well, here at Digital DJ Tips Land, the news cycle continues. So there's been a lot going on. So for instance, we've had issues with Pioneer and their Mac users not being able to upgrade to the latest version of Big Sur. You can read about that on the Digital DJ Tips website. We've got news over there on the new version of Serato Studio 1.6 as well. But also, it's so fresh that it hasn't even made it onto the website yet. There's actually quite a big piece of news today, and that is from Beatsource. Beatsource have just announced that they have brought DJ edits to DJ streaming. So what does this mean? Well, basically, inside most DJ software now, you have options: Tidal, Beatsource, Beatport, SoundCloud, Go Plus, where you can stream music from the internet, right? So you don't need to have local music. Which is great, but the trouble is all those DJ edits that we all know and love that you get from places like DJ City and BPM Supreme and Zip DJ and all the other DJ pools, they're not on. You can't find them on those services. Well, that was the case until today, because Beatsource Link, which has got the massive advantage of being a sister company to DJ City, the download pool, has just done a deal with the three major record labels to be able to provide official DJ edits, intro edits, outro edits, short edits, clean edits, and all that stuff of tracks directly into streaming services on Beatsource Link, and also to remix the back catalogue. So remixing the back catalogue is absolutely huge. So they'll be able to take tracks going back on the major labels 10, 20, 30, 40 years and redrum, do different DJ edits and so on, acapellas. It really is huge news for both the advance of DJ streaming into DJ software and also for Beatsource, of course, because there's no other streaming service that offers this. So that news has just literally been announced as we were going live. You'll be able to read about it on Digital DJ Tips very soon with all the links that you need, but you're hearing it here first. And actually also Beatsource has announced that they've increased tenfold the number of tracks you can have in the offline cache. So one of the big things with streaming services is that you are reliant on to a certain extent on the internet connection, because there's no internet connection, you can't get the tracks downloaded and onto the decks. Well, they always offered up to 100 tracks offline. Well, now they've put that to 1,000, and I think it's the same price as well. So big advances in DJ music streaming. So maybe you want to talk about that, and I'd love to talk about that with you as well. What else have I been doing? What else have we been doing? Well, because we're on the road, it doesn't mean we're not DJing. I've been playing around with these little speakers. They're from a company called Mini Rig. This is the bass bin. Yep, they've got a little portable bass bin. And also this one here, the Mini Rig Mini. These are Bluetooth speakers. You can also wire them up. I've been using them on my live streams. I've been using them for the last month. And I've been reviewing them. I've got to film my review of these tomorrow. I wrote the review today. And that'll be appearing on Digital DJ Tips soon as well. So we might be out of the studio, but we're not out of the game by any means. So maybe you've got questions about portable speakers like the ones I've got here, or any other brand, do let us know. Whatever your questions, if you hashtag ask, hashtag ASK, then I can prioritize them as we move on. I'll be only looking at items that are hashtagged ASK. That said, I will be answering questions from the top down as well. So if you've asked a question already, I will more than likely get to you. Please don't ask a question more than once. It won't get it to the top of the queue, it will just make it harder for me to find the questions that I haven't looked at already. And if you want to make sure your question gets answered, do it on Facebook. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Mixcloud. Actually, we're not on Mixcloud today, but if you want to make sure your question's answered, do it on Facebook. I can see them all here, but afterwards on Facebook they all stay there. So if we don't answer you, the team will get to you in the next day or so. And if you are watching the replay of this, where were you? Why weren't you here live? You need to be subscribed to the channel, you need to be following the page, and you need to click the show notifications, whatever it happens to be on your particular platform, so that we can tell you when we go live. And if you enjoy everything you see, then do make sure you subscribe to us. You can do that by going to digitaldjtips.com/join, digitaldjtips.com/join, and do that, and we can join you up and get you involved. Most of you will already be members, of course. It's free to join, so why not? Right, let's get going. Welcome if you've just joined us. It is Thursday Q&A live. We're not in the studio, but we're very much here. So let's get the questions. Hello to all our regulars piling in as always. GM and Mixmaster G, Martin, Kevin, Little MJT, Mike Beats over there in the USA, Big Joe Joyce, Steve, Chroma Cat Live, hello, and DJ Slackster Miller over there in Germany. Hello to Joe as well. Everyone else, I haven't got time to say hello to all of you, but it's good to have so many of our regulars here. So questions then. Lovely to hear what the weather's doing all over the place. Apparently it's hot and muggy in Miami. It's hot in Turkey. We know it's hot in Turkey, don't we, Graham, with the fires? I hope you're getting on top of those. Let's get the first question up then. So this one is from Martin. He says, "Hi Phil, I finally have my first gig on the 13th and I've started using Mixed in Key 10 to make sure my tracks are sorted by some of my tracks are not showing up on iTunes and Serato. They're not changing. You want to refresh your ID3 tags. So what Mixed in Key will do, depending on how you set it up, is that it will add a tag into the file which will have the key information on it. Now you can have it add that tag in all kinds of places. You can have it add it to the comments, you can have it add it to the file name if you want. I don't recommend that, but otherwise it will add it to a kind of semi-official tag in the format, which is read by pretty much everything. iTunes won't read it, but all the DJ software will. So once you've done the Mixed in Key analysis, just run whatever it takes to refresh your ID3 tags in your DJ software, and then hopefully they will all show that way. Martin, let us know how you get on with that. Hi to Luis in California. Chroma Cat, when are we going to have a Pioneer equivalent to the Denon DJ Prime Go? It's a good question. The Denon DJ Prime Go, of course, is the controller that the DJ console I've been using for my live streams while I've been on the road this last month or so. It's a great battery powered standalone unit, really, really cool. The Pioneer equivalent right now is the XDJ equipment, which is, well, it's not really portable. It needs mains electricity, and it also has issues with power compared to what you get from the Denon units, because the Denon units have got a lot more grunt, they've got a lot more processor power going on there. So when are they going to release something which is as good? Well, we don't know. We have no inside information. Presumably they're thinking about that stuff and it is coming, but right now we have no information on new Pioneer DJ gear. I've just noticed that the computer is crunching away a little bit at the moment. I'm hoping that it will stay with us and that we won't have to go off the air for some reason unbeknown to me. I am actually going to just try and change a particular little setting to try and get my camera to work a bit better, which is going to involve turning my fan up and also yeah, I've got all kinds of really weird stuff going on here. Let me get my fan nice and loud. It might make the microphone a little bit noisy, but that'll probably help. And also I'm going to plug into mains electricity because the laptop is about 35 degrees centigrade here. The laptop might not be liking it very much, but I do figure getting some mains electricity onto the game might help us a little bit. So let me just plug that in there now and we'll see how we get on. It's the joys of being on the road, people, in sunshine. That's what it is. Right, do let us know in the comments that you can see us all right and that the broadcast is staying live, please. Yeah, a couple of you saying you're stuttering and freezing a little bit, but hopefully that'll fix itself. Let me know. I can actually see it on the screen, so when it happens I'm pretty sure I'm seeing it too. DJ List says, my laptop always hated the heat when I played at Burning Man. camping festivals and things like that. Yeah, I mean, we are in the shade, we are doing everything we can here. Hello on Twitch, by the way, DJ Liz, good to see you there. So Technobeat is asking a question, part 1 of Technobeat's question. I don't have a computer at all and I'm playing the audio from my phone. How do I get the audio back to the phone and get it playing through the stream? So you are trying to live stream directly to your phone. I don't know. Without knowing more about the way your system is working there, Technobeat, I can't advise you more on that. However, if you make sure you ask your question either afterwards on the video underneath on YouTube where you are, or on Facebook, then we and the community can get to you and answer your question when you give us a bit more detail. What phone, what, you know, how you live streaming, we're going to need to know all that stuff. Apparently we're loud and clear now. We seem to have fixed the issues, although I know it's definitely still freezing. Let me just see if I can make a few other little quick tweaks here to the video output and see if we can improve it. It's always the way, you see. You've always got stuff to deal with. It's the way it goes. See if that. No, I can't change anything, unfortunately. I'll just do some other tweaks to the computer. Take a bit of the power off of it. Take a bit of the strain off of it. Right, we'll push on. We'll see how we get on. So the next question live, a hashtag ask if you'd like to ask a question, is from Sherwin. And Sherwin says, I gave my old and new Mark party mix to my godson because he's interested in DJing. Now I need a travel or backup controller. Is the new party mix the one to get, or is there another option? Good question. I'm thinking about this, and I know it's stuttering and it looks like I'm going away, but I'm not going away, I promise you. So the party mixes are a great controller, but they are quite a consumer controller. They're not really designed for professionals. That said, if it worked well for you, the new party mix is great. It's got built-in speakers. Certainly the bigger one of the two has, so you could have a go at that. Yeah, maybe have a look at that one. I think you might do all right with that. This is really annoying me, this hooking up of the system, so I'm just going to try and see if there's anything I can close down to make the computer a little bit more happy, because it really isn't at the moment. So do bear with me, people, while I do that, and we'll see what the issue is. If I can have a little look, my activity's all right, my memory's all right. I think the computer's just not liking this heat. I think that's what it is. I've got Mixmaster G watching. Mixmaster G, if you've got any advice for stopping this choppiness, it's not the internet, do let me know, or anyone else, but I know Mixmaster G's always got a way around these things. It does look to me just like we've got huge heat issues going on with the computer. But anyway, we're going to push on and see what happens. I'm going to just quit something else as well there that might be causing the issue. Right, okay, pushing on. So the next live question, remember, hashtag ask if you'd like to ask a question, because we're very, very busy now on the questions, so I will be prioritising the questions with hashtag ask in the beginning of them. So the next one is, no, we're completely hooked up now. Just trying to get the system to work again, people. We'll get there. So this is from Travis in Toronto, who says, hello, the weather is 23 Celsius in the late morning and it will get hot and humid. Yeah, so it's 35 here. How big of an Instagram following does one need before starting to approach the underground clubs, getting sponsored, ad money and so on? Big comment, so let's get that back on there until we've finished reading it out. My promotional DJ page has gained about 350 followers. I'm following about 32 in my first 2 weeks of trying. And my first 2 Friday outdoor shows had 100 or 200 people out. To give an idea of my following, I feel this is enough momentum to get a bit of online clout and approach clubs and pro audio companies for sponsorship or ad space money. Am I delusional? You're not delusional, but you'll be lucky, Travis. You know, these people, it's not what a capitalist would call a transparent marketplace, right? You haven't got all these DJs with followings on one side of the fence and all these clubs and promoters with money to spend on the other. It's more a case of finding someone who's likely to be able to give you a little bit of money to help you, you know, do what you want to do. Just keep asking, I would say. You know, the most important thing is to get gigs. And just build organically that way, and then these people tend to come to you rather than you know, the other way around. So that's what I would say. Just try and get yourself a few gigs, and sponsorship is hard to do. You know, what we used to do was hire a venue and then get beer companies to sponsor the events. So we'd say, okay, we've got a gig coming up, we're going to maybe get the local Budweiser representative to give us some money to help pay for the flyers and help pay for the event and so on. So that's one way you could go about doing that. But really, it's just a case of asking people, because as I say, you get people with 100 followers who are doing really nicely and getting a bit of sponsorship. You can get people with lots of followers who aren't. So I'm just going to ask my able helper there to give me something cold out of the fridge / freezer I can pop the laptop onto and see if that helps me. I'm not sure what we've got there, but anything you can find. I can pop under this tea towel and pop under the laptop. We are really struggling with the heat here, by the way, and it's all right with me. We haven't got forest fires and stuff to deal with. I know it's bad for other people, but it is making the broadcast a little bit harder to do. So we're going to pop something freezing underneath the laptop and see if we can cool it down just a little bit so that we can carry on with the broadcast. So all right then, so powered speakers, Midnight Wolf. I got myself a set of powered speakers recently. Is there an affordable AC power wireless XLR solution with low latency so I can eliminate some long cable runs? Right, can I have 2 or 3 of them please? So good question. So how can you stop long cable runs but do it latency free? I know that these things do exist. There's a company called SKAA, SKAA, and SKAA have got the technology that is used by Soundbox in their loudspeakers. Now, we've reviewed Soundbox speakers and they're pretty cool. By the way, I know that the screen's changing. That's because I'm putting some really cold cans of beer underneath the laptop to try and cool the poor thing down.
Which I'm not happy about.
So I'm trying to keep everyone happy, as I always do, which never works, of course. So I am going to advise you look at the SKAA, SKAA website and see if they've got something, because I know that they've been using something like that with the Soundbox speaker company, but also I know that Den and DJ, or rather In Music, so it could be Newmark or someone, has got something like that as well. Because the problem is, what you're looking for here is latency free, right? Because Bluetooth is not latency free. So if you want to have something without wires going from your DJ gear to your speakers, it has to be something that isn't Bluetooth, basically. So yeah, maybe have a look at that stuff. Loads of you give me advice on cooling this laptop down, by the way. Mike says a little separation from your laptop and what it's on. Well, we've done that now. We've done it with 2 bottles of Heineken and a bottle of Super Bock, the Portuguese beer. So maybe that'll cool stuff down as well. Juan says use your vehicle's air conditioning. Yeah, that's easier said than done at this stage, Juan. We're going to push on as long as the broadcast keeps going and you can hear the audio, so hello to DJ Joe in the Philippines there. It's awesome to have this kind of live advice on trying to keep us live in 100+ degree temperatures here in Portugal. I love it. So the next live question then is from it's not a question really, it's just chat going on from Philip, talking again about this. It looks like the laptop's throttling a bit. Turning the camera off but leaving the audio on might help. It might do, yeah, but I've never seen it before. I don't like doing crazy things like that when I think there might be other ways of fixing it. I'm looking at the CPU and the energy, and it's all looking all right, but it is running really, really slowly. I don't think I've ever seen the laptop struggling quite so much before. But anyway, we will push on. So this is a question coming in from Barbados, from Nia, who says, hi Phil, 34 degrees here. Channel 4 on my DDJ 1000 has got distorted audio on the line in. Has anyone else had this problem? It could be, and I'm trying to remember which channels are the phono channels on the DDJ 1000. It could just be that your phono channels are set and therefore you've got the line in socket, but it's actually thinking it's a record deck, and so it's amplifying it. I'm not sure whether I think it is channel 4 is one of the phono channels, so just take a look at that. By the way, it appears that 3 bottles of very cold beer have done a great job of cooling down this laptop, so loving that. So thanks to the wife for sacrificing them. Midnight Wolf, I got myself a, oh no, we've answered you, Midnight Wolf. Hashtag ask the 2-parter from Big Joe Joyce. I'm looking for gigs for the first time. I plan to hand USBs into bars, not a bad idea that one, with a chill or up and or upbeat mix. The bar can contact me if they want me to DJ and play the mix whenever they want. Do you recommend a long mix with multiple genres or a multiple short mixes for each genre? Right, let's get realistic here. No bar is going to book you by giving them a mix. It's a nice idea for you to give them mixes that they can play in the bar, but if you're going to do that, then do a mix that they can play in the bar. Don't double guess how many genres or whatever. Go to the bar, get to know the bar staff, get to know the manager, have a listen to what they play in the daytime or in the early evening when they haven't got DJs on, and just go and give them a couple of USBs with 3 or 4 hours of mixed music on and say, hey, I noticed that you play music when you haven't got DJs. I play your kind of style. Here's some mixed music from me for you to play in the bar, and make sure it damn well fits what they've been playing already. Don't try and give them the music you might play at a gig. Give them something that's suitable for purpose. I really like the idea of giving them music to play in bars. I've done that before many times. It does work. So once you've done that, then when they're starting to say to each other, who's this mix by? Who's this music by? This is really good. That's the time you can approach them again and say, hey, I do play up-tempo stuff as well. I'd love to come and do a gig here. Can we fix that? Can we sort that out? But yeah, definitely make that mix. If you're going to give them USBs for the event, for the venue when they haven't got events on, rather, then that is definitely the kind of music you should be mixing. Don't try and double guess that. So more of your questions, please. We are here for about another 20-25 minutes. So just mark your questions with hashtag ask, hashtag ASK, so that I can find them easy enough. So I'm going to close down Safari because I think Safari is chewing up my computer's resources. So that's now closed down in the background. I've got a suspicion that might help a little bit as well. So it's Digital DJ Tips. It's Thursday Q&A live with me, Phil Morse. We're not in the studio. We're battling on in the probably 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 35-36 degrees inland central Portugal heat. To bring you your weekly Thursday Q&A live. If you like having questions answered this way and you want to get closer to us, digitaldjtips.com/join is where to go. Become our latest free member and let us get you involved with the website that way. So we've already done Big Joe Joyce's question, so let's get rid of that one and move on to one that we haven't done already. Remember, hashtag ask so I can separate them from all the other ones. So Luke says, I'm not sure if it's a good place to ask, but do you have any advice on submitting productions to labels? You see, again, it's a little bit like submitting mixtapes to venues. Generally, labels only want artists who are already blowing up a bit, and the way you blow up a bit is by releasing your own music, getting it out there, getting it on using CD Baby or TuneCore or all those services that can get your music out there and onto the streaming services and so on, and getting a buzz around yourself anyway. And they're going to approach you when they think that they can do something with what you've got to offer. So don't nowadays you don't power isn't given, it's seized, right? So you've got to seize a bit of the buzz out there by putting something out that people like, building your own little base of fans, and then at that point and only at that point is it worth even thinking about approaching labels. And as I say, they're more than likely to approach you rather than the other way around. Naya says, thank you, Phil. Channels 3 and 4 are switchable, and channel 4 was indeed set to phono, and therefore that's fixed that for you. So good to hear that. Babin, can you sponsor me a DJ console and laptop? I'm very interested in DJing, but due to being poor, I'm not able to buy. Unfortunately, we cannot, Babin, but good luck in saving up for some equipment to get involved in this awesome hobby. Chinmoy, advice please. Is it possible to learn DJing with the DJ 400 or the Mixtrack Pro FX? Because CDJ or XDJ stuff is really expensive and hard to find in our country. It is absolutely fine to learn DJing with those things. More than that, those things can do 100 times more than the record decks and mixers that I learned on and all the DJs in my generation learned on, and that many DJs still perform award-winning sets on. Really, your phone has got everything you need to DJ on it with a DJ app. So yes, absolutely, a DJ 400 or a Mixtrack Pro FX are brilliant controllers to learn DJing on, and you absolutely can learn DJing on those. Don't give it a second thought, they are perfect. So don't worry about that. Chimoy Roy, you're good. Aaron, do you think TikTok is good social media to get more popular and to build a follower base on? Well, if you are a genuine TikTok user and you're prepared to put the work in, then yes, it is. The thing is, there's no point in using any social media channel unless you're prepared to put the work in. Now, we're live on Twitch now. We do that to tick a box, but we know damn well that we're not putting the work in to be a successful channel on Twitch, because the basis of Twitch is to put hours and hours and hours of content out there every week. The basis of TikTok, again, is to be prolific on that channel with stuff that suits that channel, and that isn't something we've got the resource or the desire in the company to do right now. our channels are the ones that we put the work into and we understand. So I would say yes, you can certainly become big on TikTok, but understand the channel and understand what they want, and understand the type of video and the length of video and the frequency of video, and how to interact with their algorithm to get your videos bubbling to the top, and how to interact with the users and so on. In other words, go all in. So our biggest advice on social media, as it always has been, is pick your channels carefully and really understand them. Don't try and be everything on every channel, because you need to have a team of dozens of people around you in order to succeed on every channel. Just pick one or two and succeed on those. That's far better, as opposed to just spreading yourself too thin and not succeeding on any of them. Next live question is from Jay, who says, "Hi Phil, do you think Pioneer will ever come out with a 4 jog wheel controller, such as a DDJ 4000 or an XDJ RX4? A 4 jog wheel controller?" No one's ever made a 4 jog wheel controller, and the reason they haven't is that a single sized device with 4 jog wheels would just be too big to be practical. You can't carry a 4 jog wheel controller around with you. I mean, in the days gone by, they used to sometimes build what we used to call coffin cases, because they were frankly the size of a coffin, which you used to be able to get 2 record decks and a mixer into, and they worked all right, but add another 2 record decks, game over. It's not going to happen. And I think that's the key here. You're going to have something that's just too big. What you can do is add on extra controllers like the Denon LC6000. Is it the LC6000? I think it is, which is the new kind of secondary controller that you can add on to systems, so you can have separate extra decks. So maybe you have 1 extra deck, but that's going to be carried separately to plug in and use with your MIDI controller. But no, I don't think that we're going to see 4 physical deck controllers anytime soon, to be honest. There's my little refreshment break, halfway through, or a little bit more than halfway through. Got another 15-20 minutes to go here, people. It's good to see the computer has settled down. I know you can hear the fan buzzing away, but it's doing its job, which is cool. KG Audi says, "Hi from San Diego, hello. Are the jogs on the Prime 4 and the Prime Go super loose when using pitch bend? I'm used to Pioneer jog adjust, but I'm tempted to try Denon DJ. Yeah, they're loose enough. You won't have any problems with them. I mean, if you're really worried, have a go, but I don't think you'll have any problems at all with them." Our next live question is from, and I'm just looking for questions that are actually #asks. For some reason I don't seem to be able to sort them out today. Just more little tweaks on the software that I need to look into. This is from Jeff. What would you consider to be the next upgrade for a bigger controller? I'm using the old DDJ SB2. I already looked at the DDJ FLX6, but I like Serato. So I would not get the DDJ FLX6, which is the Pioneer controller with the kind of jog wheels that look like the jog wheels on Pioneer Pro Gear. And the reason I wouldn't get that as an upgrade to any entry-level controller is it is an entry-level controller. They've just put good jog wheels on it. It's got no good inputs, no good outputs. Its build quality is the same as entry-level controllers. All they've done is shoehorn reasonably good pro-sized jog wheels into it and make it 4 software channels. If you're going to upgrade from a basic controller, so any controller like a DDJ 400 or an SB2 or an SB3 or a Newmark Mixtrack Pro or Pro FX or whatever, if you're going to upgrade from any of those, then upgrade to something which is semi-pro minimum. So you're talking about the Pioneer DDJ 800, or if you want Serato, the 1000 SRT, that kind of controller, because otherwise you're going to regret not doing that when you realize that everything else about it is the same as the controller that you've already got, regarding professional inputs and outputs and all that kind of stuff. So our next live question, keep them coming in with #ask, is from Christian, who says, "I'm a beginner DJ planning to look for my first controller just for at home DJing. My choice was either to buy a DDJ 200 and a sound card, which is a more expensive route, or a Newmark Party Mix. Opinions?" Good question. So the DDJ 200 is a controller without a sound card, and really you're going to need a sound card if you want to be professional with that controller. If you're prepared to buy a DDJ 200 and a sound card, you might as well, for the money, buy a DDJ 400, which has got the sound card built in. So I don't think many people would take that route. So why don't you look at the DDJ 400 instead? A Newmark Party Mix, well, that's a Serato controller. So if you're going to consider Serato controllers, you could look at the Newmark Party Mix. Sorry, well, you've already mentioned the Party Mix, but I meant the slightly bigger ones. So the Newmark Mixtrack Pro FX, Platinum FX, those kind of controllers, or even the DDJ SB3. But I would, rather than buying a DDJ 200 and a sound card, I would definitely look to buy a controller with a built-in sound card. So yes, you could get the party mix, but it's still quite limited. For me, the best entry-level controllers are when you're getting to the DDJ 400 and the SB3 and the Mixtrack Pro FX, that kind of controller, Christian. The Rockus says Superbock. Now that has to be some kind of dark brew. It isn't actually, it's just the Portuguese. In fact, it's not Superbock, it's Sagres. It's another Portuguese lager. No, it's just a Portuguese brand. Sagres, I think they pronounce it. They are they're kind of like the basic brands here in Portugal. Salvo's just loving the beard. I'm growing it to annoy Steve Canueto because he doesn't like facial hair. Yeah, I'm just growing it really big while I'm away for this 2 months. I plan not to shave it at all. So there we go. What a child I am. Duncan, I managed to hook my Tractor Mark III to my active passive speakers. Oh yeah, we were talking about this last week, weren't we, Duncan? But then I had to turn the master volume on my controller. I'm also waiting on a dual RCA to XLR cable. I don't know without knowing what speakers you're using there, but you really shouldn't be having these problems, Duncan. I mean, you do have to turn your master controller up to get the volume up into anything that you're plugged into, but without knowing the exact ins and outs of the equipment you're using, it's hard for me to help you a little bit more there. But do let us know. So I'm just scanning for so many of you have been so helpful about the issues with the computer not liking the heat, that it's hard to find the actual questions mixed in there, especially because I don't seem to anymore be able to use the search function, which is unusual. It's normally there, that search function for me. Right, okay, never mind, we will push on. So Mark says Intel Mac or Apple Silicon. Well, I would definitely try Apple Silicon because I suspect it would handle the heat better. Another reason for me to put the argument to the team that we need to upgrade our laptop when I get back. Always like a business upgrade. The next live question, no, this is a newish laptop. This is going to do us for a while yet. People talking about the mini rigs, these speakers that we've got here. There's a review coming up of these. This is actually a bass speaker, believe it or not. I'll tell you about these a little bit. So this is a bass bin. See that? Rechargeable bass speaker. And this is the standard speaker. This is Bluetooth, the standard one. And what you do is you plug this one into your DJ gear, and then you plug this one into the bass bin, and you can even plug a second one of these in, so you can have a subwoofer and two of these. If you set that up and position the speakers well, I'm not joking, it's hard to tell the difference between what you're hearing and pro DJ monitors. But this is completely portable, completely battery powered. They're really, really good. Our review of them is written because I wanted to take them on tour, if you like. So I've been reviewing these and DJing with them for a month. So our review of these mini rig speakers is coming up. And the one killer thing they've got that nearly all Bluetooth speakers haven't, which is just essential for DJing, is that when you plug your DJ gear into the line-in socket here, it is not affected by any latency at all. Now, you'd think that would be the case with any speaker, wouldn't you? But it's not. JBL, Bose, all those companies, we've tested so many of them. There's very few that when you plug a wire from here to your DJ gear, don't give you a little bit of latency or delay, in other words. And that makes DJing at best difficult, at worst impossible. These don't. These are designed by DJs. So with these you get completely latency-free audio, which is a prerequisite for DJing. So we really like them. Our review of them is coming up. But Charlie's pointing out it's a Bristol company, UK. They're made in the UK, and they're top speakers with a long battery life. They do. We found about 10 hours at a decent volume with these speakers. Yeah, we like them. Right, so talking about Bristol, Gareth is saying the weather's not so hot there today. But anyway, what's your preference? Technics 1210 or Stanton straight 150 turntables? I would say in order, Technics 1210 Mark II, Stanton straight 150 in second place, and in third place Technics 1210 Mark 7, the more recent ones. The Mark 7s are a dud. The Mark 7s are a poor cash in on the name. They really are not as good as the original 1210 Mark IIs from 20-30 years ago. I would much rather, if you want Technics, you go and find a pair of 1210 Mark IIs, try and get them second hand or 10th hand at a decent price, and then pay a Technics third-party specialist to service them, get them back to good as new for you. They will then last you for another 20 years. If you want to go new, then Stanton Straight 150s are a great turntable, arguably even better than the Technics in some ways. But if it were me, Technics 1210 Mark IIs have been my first choice, and the current Technics just aren't worth the money. I would avoid those if it were me. Right, hashtag ASK. Hashtag ASK to ask questions. Steve says, what's the best digital DJ tips course for learning transitions for beginner DJs? Thank you, Steve, from the UK. That would be the Complete DJ course. The Complete DJ course. Go to the Digital DJ Tips website, click courses, and scroll down till you see the Complete DJ course. That teaches you right from the beginning in 3 really important steps how to transition. So step 1 is it's not theory, because from the very first lesson you're doing stuff, but it's the stuff you need to know: counting, timing, lining up beats, getting tempo right, beat matching, and then when you learn to beat match, lining up bars, lining up measures, and then learning about the structure of music so you know where to mix in tracks, which is, you can learn that without touching your DJ gear. But if you don't know that, you ain't ever going to mix properly. The second thing it teaches you is how to do the basics, which you can do on your your dad's turntables, or you can do on every kind of DJ gear, right up to the most complex DJ gear out there. So the very basics of mixing, actually how to manually beat mix, how to use headphones, how to prepare the next track, and how to smoothly use EQs and volumes and so on to mix between 2 tracks. And then the third stage is when we move on to digital tricks and tools, how to use things like pads, loop mode, all the functions that you find to help you with your performance, like effects and so on. So in other words, all the stuff that brings it bang up to date. And as you can probably tell by the way I'm describing this, each of those modules builds on the other one, on the one that came before it. So unless you learn those 3 things in order, you're never going to know how to do it properly. So the best courses, without a shadow of a doubt, are Complete DJ course, which will teach you those 3 things in that order. And once you've got that mastered, then you can move on to our mixing courses: mixing power skills, mixing mastery, laid back Luke's mixing creative course, James Hype's transitions course, DJ Angelo's course, which is more open format mixing. But all of those courses assume that you know the stuff I just described, which is why we push everyone who comes into our circle who says I'm a beginner to the Complete DJ course. It doesn't only teach you that stuff, by the way. We teach DJing in 5 ways: gear, music, techniques, playing out, and promoting yourself. This is techniques. So take away gear, music, playing out and promoting yourself, you're left with techniques. This is part of techniques, what I just described, the way of learning how to transition. So that's the way we teach DJing, and that course teaches you all that stuff. But that is the stuff it teaches you when it comes to what you actually asked there, Steve, which is all about transitioning. People, we have 5-10 minutes to go. I'm going to carry on. So pleased to see the computer has settled down to give us a far smoother second half and first half of this Thursday Q&A live. If you've just joined us, we are not in the studio, as you can tell. We're on tour at the moment, so to speak, but we're still doing Thursday Q&A live. But if you wonder where Tuesday tips went, that's coming back in September from the studio. And the Sunday live streams, the Sunday DJ live streams are still going on fine. I'll be here on Sunday. If you look at your watch now and add 20 minutes on to whatever it says, come and join us on these channels on Sunday. Apart from Facebook, we're not on Facebook, where you can see me playing a chill out set from somewhere as nice as here, I hope. And also Ben and Steve are still doing the Sunday sets, but the Tuesday ones are not happening until the 1st of September when we'll be back. Right, questions for the last five minutes or so. This is from Pablo, who says, what's the best digital recorder I can use to record my sets on my DDJ 1000 without having to use the Rekordbox software? So there's a few things you can do. You can plug into your phone using any audio interface that works with an iOS device, like an iRig Stream, or Roland have got the Roland Go interfaces. There's loads of them out there. All you've got to do is make sure it plugs into your port, or indeed on Android you can get them as well. You can buy standalone recorders. So I think ours is a Tascam, thinking about it, a Tascam DR05, which I've had for like 15 years, cost about $70. So you can get hardware recorders. There's the Reloop tape that does the same thing as well. So either of those will do for you. Really, it doesn't matter. Any of them will do the job. If it were me, I'd just get an audio interface and plug straight into a phone and record on there, because it's then digitized already. It's on your device, and it's just easier. Evermix is another popular one. Evermix. Look at their Mixbox 4 device as well. The Ruckus says, speaking of chill out sets, your latest Mixcloud was very nice. Oh, thank you, the Ruckus. Yeah, I did something a bit unusual last week in that I just fancied playing a real laid back dubby down-tempo DJ set. So I just went live on Mixcloud, on my personal Mixcloud, at mixcloud.com/Phil Morse. And I just played for an hour and a half, just did it, and then a couple of hours later went off and did something else. But it did really well. We had like 50 people there, had a good chat, and it's not the kind of thing I normally play in my DJ set, so I had a lot of fun doing it, so I can recommend it. So thank you for the kind words there. Mario says, I'm not sure if you talked about this, and sorry if it's a repeat question, but what's your feedback on the A-Track mixer? It looks awesome, but it seems overwhelming. I'm thinking of purchasing. Well, look, the A-Track mixer, we've covered it on Digital DJ Tips, by the way, if you just go and look at the website. I'm scared to open Safari in case it makes my computer go all fuzzy again. It's basically a rebadge of the Rain 70, which is a battle mixer, 2-channel scratch mixer. And he's added in a couple of features. The main one is inputting an effect, a progressive effect onto the faders, but you don't have to use it if you don't want. At the end of the day, these features are there for you to use or not. There's nothing really overwhelming about them. It's a great mixer, and he's added a little bit of extra to it. Your decisions are going to be, do you go for the 70 or the A-Track 70, and it depends on whether you want that extra feature, whether you like A-Track and you like the kind of visual style of it, and of course whether you want to pay that little bit extra. So thank you, Beat Surrender, for saying I'm a first-time viewer and I'm thoroughly enjoying today's session. We love doing this as well. It's why, even though I'm on holiday, I've decided to keep doing these sessions over July and August anyway, because I would miss them otherwise. This is Craig as well, saying it was nice to hear that surprise dub stream that Phil did earlier this week. Thank you very much, Craig. Right, finally, last 2 or 3 questions. Matey is saying a Zoom H6 is solid, high quality, and you can use it as an audio interface as well. That is a great piece of advice. So you can buy both and kill 2 birds with 1 stone there, says Matey the Great. So thank you for that. I really like that tip. Yeah, why not buy an audio interface and a hardware recorder at the same time? Thank you for sharing that one. Chinmoy says there are some cheap options in the market like Gemini DJ player and mixer. Are they good to start? I would never advise you buy Gemini gear, because it's a second-rate brand with not very good support and promise things that never turn up and so on. Sorry, Gemini guys, but that's my view at the moment. There's far better for the money. Stick to the bigger brands, frankly. The next live question then is from Roman, who says, would you please compare pro and cons of using jog wheels versus DVS vinyl? Okay, this is going to be our last question of the day, because I want to do a good job of this one. So jog wheels are the digital equivalent of turntables. They are designed to control digital music, but without needing a proper turntable, with a big motor and an arm that goes over and slip mats and all that stuff. They are smaller, cheaper, more portable. They work brilliantly. You can scratch on jog wheels, you can do everything on jog wheels, even to the point where the pro DJ gear that is used by 99% of DJs in pro DJ booths has got jog wheels. It's called the Pioneer CDJ 2000 and now the 3000. So jog wheels have pretty much taken over the world. That said, there is an argument for still using platters. Now, we've actually covered this on Digital DJ Tips recently, so if you went to our website and searched jog wheels versus platters, you'll find an article where I talk about this. Platters, in other words, something with a motor driving it, which has got vinyl or something that looks like vinyl on it that you can scratch and play with, they are how DJing has always been done. And for scratch and performance DJs, even though you can scratch and perform really well on jog wheels, it's going to feel more like the real thing. And of course, if you own a DVS system, and by the way, for those of you that are new to this, a DVS system is just a way of using traditional turntables and a mixer to control DJ software. It actually means digital vinyl software or digital vinyl system, and it just connects the software up to the turntables. So that's all it is. So if you own a DVS system, which you just add on to existing turntables, it's either built into the mixer or it's just a little box, then you can still use the system that you've got for playing normal records on. Indeed, you could do it in the same DJ set. Now, of course, that isn't something you can do with jog wheels and a digital system. Then you're all in with digital. So for me, jog wheels every time, but I'm not a scratch DJ. For scratch DJs, it's either going to be DVS or some of the new motorized equipment. For instance, the Rain 12 motorized MIDI controllers are absolutely brilliant. So that would be something to look at as well. But it just depends really whether you want that vinyl feel or not. People, we're going to stop there. Thank you very much for joining us. I will be here on Sunday, about 15 minutes from now, playing some chill out house and down tempo stuff. Come and join me for that. I'd love to see you there. Do say hello. We'll be live on YouTube, Twitch and Mixcloud for that. I will also be back this time next week with another Thursday Q&A, but Tuesday tips, in fact I won't. Ben is doing Thursday Q&A next week because I really am fully off grid next week, but I'll be back the week after that. So join Ben for that and give him some support, and I will leave you in their capable hands then. So listen, wherever you are in the world, get good, get out there, make the moments, and we'll see you again very soon. Till next time, bye bye.